Alright folks, so it's Odyssey here and we're gonna be discussing Battlefield 5 as it's the flavour of the month. But in particular the Xbox One X enhanced version. Okay. Now just to make sure we're all on the same page, this is the open beta, the first of the open betas, if there is going to be a second one. This is the one that was in September. Okay, so the gameplay footage here is taken from that time and it's running at 1080p to ensure that the most power is driving the engine rather than the graphics. However, we will be discussing the graphics because any game that's enhanced will still look good on a 1080p TV or monitor. Why is this important then? Well, if you're running any game enhanced on a 4K TV with HDR, then that's going to take valuable processing resources from your Xbox One X, and you're sacrificing frames per second for graphical beauty and goodness. But as this is a competitive first-person shooter, I wanted all the sort of graphical grunt of the Xbox One X sort of shoehorned into the gameplay rather than the aesthetics. Okay, with that said then, it is still beta, but there is another little nugget that I think we need to discuss. Now, somebody who I don't actually know, but is a close source, and they accidentally spilt the beans on a podcast, which I don't think they were supposed to do. But they were told at Gamescom by DICE that the game was actually 6 months behind schedule. That was in, and don't forget guys, Gamescom is in August. That was a couple of weeks ago. Since then, DICE has delayed the game by 1 month. That isn't long. That is not 6 months of behind schedule time. That's just, so we're still 5 months in the red. Now obviously it doesn't take a genius to realise what this was about. Well, DICE themselves said, oh, it's based on consumer feedback from the closed betas. Nonsense. It's what it's based on is the fact that it's 6 months behind schedule. That's what it's based on. And they still don't want to miss the Christmas release. EA, the publishers, ain't going to allow that. So guys, I would suggest that what we are seeing at the open beta is nowhere near the quality of we should be expecting to see, let's say, 12 months from now. Now, if you watch any other YouTubers, and I'm sure you do, a lot of them are going on about how many bugs are in the beta. And they're right, there's a ton of bugs. I don't even know where to start really. None of them are game-breaking bugs really. Some of them are annoying, like audio cues, lack of audio, unable to revive, not being able to be revived. You're supposed to always be available to be revived unless you've been hit by a V2 bomb or you drop from a big height. Well, sometimes just being shot enables you. Other bugs such as when you take a revive, you actually end up taking their gun as well. I mean, there's so many bugs, guys. Graphical, audio, and also in gameplay as well. Okay, so let's have that said. So with that in mind, I think that we're going to be getting a hell of a day one patch on our doorstep come November the 20th. But what does that say about the graphics? Well, when I first loaded up the beta, I've got to say I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed at all. Not for the game that... I mean, this is Battlefield now. This isn't Battlefront. This is Battlefield. Now, BF1 was a stunning game on the Xbox One X enhanced version. Stunning. I mean, it was really nice. Beautiful. Well, I would put this on a par, if not slightly lower than that par. And I think they can do more. Interestingly, I booted up the PC version, put my settings on Ultra because I've got a 980 Ti. And I'll be honest with you, yes, they was better, but they didn't blow my mind. So, I mean, am I being harsh here? I don't know. Yeah, maybe, because the game still looks fantastic. I mean, the Frostbite engine that DICE use, I mean, it's superb. but I do expect a little bit better. The pop-up is crazy. There's crazy pop-up on the Xbox One X enhanced version. But I think you'll agree that if it's 6 months behind development, it's looking very, very good for that stage in time for the Xbox One X users. I mean, I'm happy. If the game ran smoothly, and I think it does pretty well, if I'm honest, at 1080p using the Xbox One X, not using it at 4K, remember that. It runs quite smoothly for me. The bugs aren't game breaking, it's slightly annoying, and I still think it looks great. So I mean, if this was like the final version of graphical quality, I wouldn't be too upset, guys. I'd be, pretty happy with that. But I do think it will get better. I don't think we've seen the last of the improvements, both graphically and certainly the audio. That's got to be, that's just plain and simple, in your face, needs to be better. Digging a little bit deeper in the graphics then, because all we can go off is what we've got in front of us. I do find the contrast better on PC, and the colours to be a bit sharper. There seems to be a little bit of a wider range of gamut being used there. But I will say on the Xbox, sometimes it can feel a little bit washed out. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of oversaturation here and there. This is the Rotterdam map, and I think it just looks absolutely stunning. It's a great map. More on that later, I suppose. But on the Nordic map, the PC version, the snow can be a little bit in your face, particularly when you're indoors, where the contrast between the white snowflakes and the dark background, it can be a little bit too much. On the Xbox, not so much actually. Actually, I think the Xbox One X kind of gets the balance quite right, and I think that's because of the amount of extra particles, I guess, or snowflake graphics that PC can handle rather than the Xbox. So it actually works in the Xbox's favour for me, that. Some other YouTubers, I've noticed, have complained, let's call it that, how hard it is to see the enemy. I don't really have that issue, guys. They're saying that their camera works too well. Maybe on the PC it does, but I'll be honest with you, when I ran it on PC, I didn't really have the issue either. I'm in difficulty seeing him, if I'm honest with you. No more than any other game, What is it that the army teach? Sight, silhouette, movement, shape, speed, stuff like that. Those are all the triggers to an enemy being there. There are others, I just can't remember what they all are. And I find using those same principles to be the case here. I would suggest that with better audio, we might be able to spot them a bit easier as well. But no harm, no foul for me just yet. I'm not going to complain about that. The thing when you're judging graphics on a relatively fast-paced first-person shooter. Now, I've just done a video on attrition, when I explain why this game is better for being a slow-paced game. However, with any kind of shooter, you're not really standing around looking at the wallpaper. Okay, you're not really looking at the finer details of the ridges and the tessellation of the objects on the floor, or the mortar in the bricks, for example.
Watch out, over there.
However, the reflections in the water, the dynamic weather effects, you do notice, and the shading of your characters, you do notice. The flashes of the gun, you do notice these things. What else are really important to me, for example, is the gun modelling, because that's the thing that you're always kind of looking at. I don't have a problem with these guys. I think all that is pretty damn sweet. So I'm pretty happy with that. I do, again, think the gun modelling can be a little bit sharper. So another thing that you get to do in this particular battlefield that you've not been able to do in any other battlefield for that matter, is the construction. Now the construction is a bit, it's a bit lame. It's really useful and it's a great feature in this game, but the gameplay mechanic of it is a bit lame. Basically, you pull out a hammer and you stand in the same place and you watch a circle go around while you pretend to hit a white, ghostly apparition of where some construction's going to form miraculously in front of you. Now, without comparing this to Fortnite, and you know, you've been mental to do that, but wouldn't it be a bit better if you actually saw it kind of getting made a little bit? You know, like, do you know, like Fortnite, where you actually see the panels coming together? You know, no, I mean, I don't mean it to be like that, but wouldn't it be better to actually just see some kind of animation of it coming together a bit? Or is there a way of making... I don't know, guys. I mean, I want your thoughts on this. I want your thoughts in the comments. So, you know, tell me what you think about this. But is there a better way of making that more fun? Because at the moment, it's dull as dishwater. Like, I like the idea of building fortifications. I just don't like the idea of having to do it. It's so mindly... I mean, Alpha here, well, on the Rotterdam map, there is so much fortification you can make. So much. Someone's done it in this gameplay video that I'm showing now. And I can promise you, it takes forever. It takes quite a long time to actually build all these sandbags. With a few of you can get it done relatively quickly. But it's such an important part of this game because it really does block lines of sight. It stops you from getting beasted by the tanks and the vehicles and the machine guns. You know, it's actually a really useful thing. You can even use it to block entrances to some of the objectives, like on Echo, for instance, on this map. You know, you can use barbed wire to actually stop things from going down. It's a really important thing. It's just really dull to do it, and I wonder how long it will be for people to carry on doing that. I think people will just stop doing it, guys, because they'll be like, yeah, come, yeah, boring, unless it's for an assignment or a challenge or something like that. So just to talk about some other aspects of the game now, so we're going to go into this video where we're just going to kind of talk about some other aspects of the game, quite randomly, not connected, but not really worth doing a video on their own. So the first thing I'd want to talk about is the time to kill. Okay, this has been an area which DICE have been tweaking. They've made it so it's quicker. They've made it so they've kind of gone left and right of arc on this on the two close beaters. They did it so it was quite bullet spongy, and then they did it so it was like really ultra hardcore. You know, pop dead. And I think in this open beta, having not played the closed betas because I'm not a popular YouTuber, that I think honestly it's spot on. I'm the first one to complain if the time to kill is too slow or too long, and for me, my own personal opinion is that the time to kill I'm happy with it, really happy with it. I do get chance just about against a bad player to react, but if I'm getting shot in the back, I'm getting shot in the back, and I deserve to be killed, you know. So yeah, I'm happy with the time to kill. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would say that the weapons need rebalancing a little bit. The STG, which is the gun I'm using on here, is a bit of a beast. I mean, oof. I don't ever use it because I play as medic. 99% of the time I play as medic. So in this gameplay, I actually want to do something different. And I actually use the STG. And by the end of this round, I actually started to get really quite good with it. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might put it up as a little screenshot in a second. But I think I came top with some like 45 kills. The STG, and this was like pretty much my first 1 or 2 goals with the STG. I should be coming top with a gun I very rarely use. I mean, I've not learned the recoil patterns. I've got no sights for it. I've got nothing. I mean, it's straight out of the tin. So that, for me, tells me that that gun is a bit OP right now. Okay, but I do love the Sten. I love the MP40. I find the balance on those particular guns quite good. They take a little bit of skill to use, you know. They take a little bit of control of the recoil to get kills at anything sort of medium plus distances. So again, these are all topics for conversation, guys. Let me know what you think, but I feel that the weapon balancing does need work, particularly in the support classes. I'm using the bipod. That isn't working for me. You put your bipod down and then this crazy animation where it flicks left, right and God knows where up and down before it settles down, before you can use it. You don't really get any good feedback when the bipod is down either. Not really, you know, it's a bit floaty, let's put it that way. So I think the support class bipods need a bit of work. And I also did have a go at sniping a little bit. And the snipers, well, the first one, the Lee Enfield Mark IV, I think it's called. I could be wrong, but I think it's called that. I mean, you go to ADS on that, guys, and there's absolutely no bullets way. No bullets way. It's a one-shot headshot, which I think a sniper rifle should always be a one-shot headshot. And it's a two-shot kill anywhere else in the body. I think you get like 60, you know, 60 health point hits for like a chest shot or something like that. Happy with that, if I'm honest with you. Snipers, they should need a bit of skill, but I think they should also be a bit of what's it called, weapon sway, rifle sway. Okay, anybody who's ever shot rifles know that when you stood up, it sways like a bastard. Okay, it goes a little bit steady when you're kneeling, and it goes very, very steady when you're in the prone. Okay, I would like DICE to introduce things like that, just to make sniping a little bit more difficult, because on BF1 it was way too easy for everybody, especially on PC, and then on PC it killed it for me on PC a bit, because everyone was running around with snipers. Console was a little bit different because it was a little bit tricky because you're using a control pad. So guys, it is beta. What do I think then? Final thoughts. Okay, it's a buggy mess. Audio needs work. I think the graphics could be a smidge better, especially on the Xbox One X. The fact it's 6 months delayed, sorry, correction, 6 months behind schedule, yet they've only delayed it by 1 month is a worry. So I think it's going to come out, and I think some of the bugs and some of the optimization still won't be there. However, I think 12 months from now, it's going to be an absolute peach, this game. I actually think, and it's a bold statement, and I know nobody else is going to agree with me here, but if the map design can stay on a par of Rotterdam and the Nordic map, okay, I think if the map design can stay on that par, this could be as good as Battlefield 3. Everyone's just now completely unsubbed and turned off the video, but I reckon it could be, because the map design on this so far has been fantastic. The gameplay is fantastic, the tempo of the gameplay is fantastic, the time to kill's good, the weapons seem okay, even though there's only a limited selection so far. I like the attrition, so spoiler alert on that video that I've just made. The only thing it's letting it down on is, I think the graphics could be a bit better, audio, optimization and bugs, and that is all easily fixable. Thank you guys, I think you're on for a real winner on this one. I think EA, you need to work on your community feedback. You know, that's not good how you treat your gamers, but DICE, you've done a good job of this one. I just wish you had a bit more time to get it out the can in its perfect state right from the off in November, because you're going to get a backlash from that, you know, guys. Anyway, folks, leave your comments below. Say what you want to say. I've got a thick skin, it doesn't matter to me, okay? If you disagree, I don't mind. I'm interested in your comments and your thoughts. Guys, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.